Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast and posse. I'm Tiffany Carter. So let me know if you guys can relate to this. Are you tired of taking all the cool photos and spending hours crafting clever captions only to get a few dozen likes, if that? Wonder how all those Instagram influencers do it? How do they build massive followings and make all this money sharing cool products, which they get most of it for free, when you're only growing by like 15 followers a week? I know that you're wondering. That's why I brought on one of my favorite Instagram influencers. We have on today Ortal Levitan, or we can call her Levitan, as we discovered before we came on. She's a social media growth specialist and online business coach. She has over 261,000 followers on Instagram. And what's most impressive is how much money she's making. I know people have a shit ton of followers who are broke as a joke. This girl knows how to capitalize on an audience that she also knows how to grow. So welcome, girl. What's up?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. That introduction, ooh, got me all fired up.
This is like I love this topic and she loves it. You love it just as much as me, which is why you're so successful at coaching others on how to do this for their business, because you really are genuinely passionate about it. You didn't just like happen upon this audience. I'm guessing, right?
No, you're guessing correctly. This is like years in the making. And I love talking about this. This is actually how we connected when we were at Petya's event. Cause I was like, Tiffany said something about like how all the influencers that have like millions of followers are broke as a joke. And I was like, finally, somebody flippin' says this. Like, it's so true.
So tell us, first of all, like, how long did you start your account? And what made you even start it? And her account, by the way, she's Workout Unicorn. So you might already know her from that. But like, where did that name even come from? Tell us all the things.
Okay, so when my account started, I started it as like a fitness account. I was trying to lose weight in college, but I didn't want anybody to know that I actually had Instagram. So I was like super embarrassed. So if you guys scroll back to like the beginning of my posts, like my first two posts, you'll see it's like a picture of my body and like workout apparel. And there's like a raccoon emoji on my face or like a cat emoji on my face. Cause I was so embarrassed. I was like, I don't want anybody to know that I'm doing this thing. And IGTV was a thing. Instagram was just starting off and I started posting to grow. I was like, I want to gain motivation. I want to inspire other people to lose weight. And that's basically how I started. Now, keep in mind that my account is like, I would say 4 years in the making. I've been doing this for 4 flipping years. And so when people come to me and they're like, oh, you can get 100,000 followers like in a month, I'm like, okay, well, no. So yeah, that's basically how my account started off. And that's what I've been focusing on since then. I was focusing on really growing it, seeing what works, what doesn't work, what makes the algorithm tick, what is effective and what's not effective. And that's basically how I compiled all those things into a nice little list that I implement every day.
What's so funny is you started out with like hiding your face with emojis.
Yes.
Interesting that you picked a raccoon of all things you could have picked. Like there wasn't a unicorn back then, but like not even like a cheetah or a lion. You picked a fucking raccoon.
Yup. And it's an ugly raccoon too. Like you guys should scroll back and look. It's just weird. It's weird.
And you went from like hiding yourself to it being a business and showcasing yourself. Like, what the hell was the big shift?
Honestly, I realized that people don't connect with pictures of a raccoon. People don't connect with just, your body. And that's not what my page was about. Like, I wasn't looking to just post my ass on Instagram and be like, oh, here, let me gain some male followers. Like, I knew early on that's not what I was looking for. And I noticed that when I started posting more content that spoke about me or spoke about my life, people would relate to that a lot more. And that is how I really gained the following at the beginning. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate. When you post a picture of food or when you post a picture of like a pretty sunset, you get maybe a fourth of the likes and engagement that you would as compared to when you post a picture of yourself, of your life, of, whatever, something that an audience can relate to.
Totally. I've even noticed, and this is a lesson here right now, you guys. If you're like, oh, I didn't know that, well, then you're not studying your gram enough. You're not studying your feed enough and not paying attention. And if you want it to be a business and not a hobby, you need to treat it as a business. So you need to take a look and see, oh, when I, as much as you might like love, posting pictures of sunsets and they're not getting engagement, well, then your audience is telling you they're not that into it. Like for me, I recently noticed that the closer I am to the camera on pictures of my face, the higher the engagement. That's how closely you need to be looking at this shit, right?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. And I was just going to say, like, your page, you really know how to put together posts that speak to your audience. Like your captions and your images are both like flipping fire.
Well, but let me ask you this, because we could say it's all relative. Numbers are relative, you guys. So I have like, at the time of this episode, I have like 16.3 thousand people, right? Compared to your 260 something thousand. So I could say to you, okay, you, the expert, are saying, hey, your captions, your photos, they're legit. They're legit. Okay, then why don't I have 200 and something thousand? Because this is how our audience is thinking right now.
Yeah, it really is. And you know what, guys? I'm going to be the first to say this. When my account started off, like I said, I wasn't focused on like targeted followings. I wasn't focused on building my personal brand. I was doing what a lot of the people that I work with do when they first start off. I want the followers. I need the numbers. The numbers is what matters. And you guys, it doesn't fucking matter. A lot of the followers that I have are people that have been following me, and I'm going to be honest, they're like thirsty dudes that like to see me in yoga apparel because I am sponsored by like clothing companies. Some of the people that are following me are thirsty dudes, and it's like they stick around for whatever reason, but they're not my ideal audience.
And I think that's why we were, like you were saying in the beginning, that what we connected on is, like, I have a client right now. I think I shared this with you, and I've shared it on the show before. She has over 500,000 followers and is truly broke, and came to me and is like, I don't understand why. And she's sitting on a gold mine. So is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. People think that it's all about the numbers, and it's not about the numbers. You could be making more money with 10,000 followers than you could with 1 million followers. And I know that sounds like really bizarre, but it's freaking not. Just getting followers is not the name of the game. Getting the right followers that care about your content and engage with your post, that's what matters. And Tiffany, like, you clearly have that. Like, your page, your audience is super engaged. People interact with your content, and yeah.
I mean, it's true. I know that. I know it's quality. What's difficult, and remember, like, this is my second business. This is my first time doing a personal brand, around me, I'm the face of the company, and we're about 10 months in. Okay. And I started from zero. It's not like, I'm a well-known, public figure. The Kardashians are not my close friends, like everyone thinks. Just because you live in Calabasas does not mean we're homies. I'm just saying. So I started from 0 too, but what I knew I needed was those likes do give you social proof to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if someone landed on my page and I first started and I had 272 followers, even with like solid content, they're less likely to follow me, don't you think?
I would agree. Yeah, I 100% agree. Social proof plays a big role, which is why so many companies are now, you can buy anything on Instagram. And I don't say this lightly. I'm like, you can buy anything. And so that's why so many companies are making a huge profit, because people need this social proof. But with that being said, Instagram is now starting to combat that. Like, they recently just tested out a new feature in Canada where you don't see likes. You, as the account owner, know how many likes you got and who they came from. But people landing on your page, they don't see if you got 1 like or if you got 5 million likes. They don't see any of that. And so that's Instagram's way of combating this like need for social proof, which has been the crux of this whole app from the very beginning. Instagram's noticing that, and they're like, okay, we don't like this. We want to make this app more authentic, more genuine, and we want the users to focus on the interaction and the quality over the quantity.
So I get a rash every time I go on even a friend's account. Like, listen, I won't call you guys out, and my friends listen to the show, but you know who you are, and I know what's up. And you guys have a shit ton of fake followers and fake comments. Mm-hmm. And the fake comments are really obvious. It's like,
oh my God,
nice photo or great information. Like, no one writes anything like that. Like, yeah, some people will just drop emojis. Like, that's normal. But no one, it's just, you can tell, right? But what is crazy is they do that, and so many people still aren't aware that they have all these fake followers and even fake comments, because they do have a lot of real ones too. So it makes it so tempting for people. So do you think people should, in the beginning, buy fake followers and fake comments?
I love that you asked that. And honestly, I have nothing against buying. I'm not going to lie. I tested it out. When I first started my account, I tested out fake likes. This was before impressions too. So fake comments, fake likes, fake followers. And then I recently tested out on my sister's account, like one of those automated services that likes for you or whatever. Mm-hmm. And honestly, guys, it's not worth it. Think about it like this. The whole point of having an Instagram page is to make money, right? Now, if you're starting to buy fake likes, fake followers, fake engagements, you have to keep this up. Like, it's not just going to miraculously pick up by itself. Like, you're going to have to keep maintaining appearances. And this is going to start to become very, very expensive for you. And even when you're just starting off, like, you're not going to be making a shit ton of money from your account. So you're going to be investing thousands of dollars every single month trying to maintain appearances with like impressions and comments and likes. And obviously, the more high quality they are, the more expensive they are. And this is just going to be like milking you. It's going to be bleeding you dry, which totally defies the point. If later on you're actually trying to monetize this page, people are going to be like, okay, well, at some point, like, you're going to have to stop buying these things, right? Well, how are you supposed to monetize a non-existent following if they're all fake? Like, who's going to buy your shit if all of your engagement and following and everything is fake?
Well, nope. Right. And we're going to get into how you monetize. And I know one of the ways she monetizes, you guys, is, based on, obviously, her brand is, fitness, health oriented, right? So she is partnered with a lot of brands and is sponsored and everything. But given that, my background, I have a journalism background, lots of PR. My other company is digital marketing, just in the pharmaceutical, nutraceutical space. So more corporate clients, but we have software, and my social media manager now, she has it's like an app or whatever that will actually run someone's account and will tell you how many bots you have. How many fake followers, what your true engagement is. Because think about it. Let's say a big brand like, a Lululemon, a Target, Nabisco, whatever the hell it is. Okay. Let's say they are looking for a micro influencer or even a major influencer, and they're going to spend money. They're going to make sure that their product's getting seen by real humans, not bots. So you're going to get found out.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And honestly, like Tiffany, you took it a step further. You have like an actual app and an algorithm that runs it. There are free softwares. Like go on Social Blade. There's a ton of different websites that will show you a person's account ranking. They'll show you like their following. They'll show like you can get called out so easily nowadays that it's really embarrassing. Like if you're trying to like monetize your page and a brand like actually does some research on you, you're blacklisted. Like, you don't want that.
No, I mean, and there's a reason I got a sponsor early on. I mean, really early on. I mean, I had 5,000 followers and I, got inner guide planners. I mean,
Mhm.
granted, it was also, across all my platforms, right? It was, my podcast, etc., right? But she knows like part of my brand. I'm obsessed with office supplies. I already genuinely use their product. I had her as a guest on my show prior to any contract being signed. So it was genuine, right? And she knew my following, although even, very small at the time, was super engaged and super on
Mhm.
brand and real. Now, if
And
I
like,
got greedy and had that be fake and they ran something, God, that would have been really embarrassing.
oh my God, that just destroys your credibility. And like, what people don't know also is that, guys, one brand speaks to another. Usually, you're not actually speaking to the brand, you're speaking to a company that manages the brand and reaches out to influencers on the brand's behalf. So if you're like blacklisted as like a fake influencer with one specific brand, you're going to get blacklisted pretty much in the whole community. And like, that's not only embarrassing, but that's like messing with your money. Like, you're not going to be able to monetize your page if people know that you're fake. So it's really something to like think about before you go down this path.
How would you say, and I know there's many, techniques and strategies that you teach people when they, when they work with you and they hire
Mhm.
you, but what are some ways that people can gain genuine followers that are in aligned with their brand, the real way, the organic way?
Okay, I love that question. And honestly, guys, it's not about the tips or the tricks or any specific secret sauce method that, that I can teach you that somebody else can. The best piece of advice that I can give you is figure out exactly who your brand is trying to speak to. Who are you trying to attract to your page? What value can you provide these people that will land on your page? And be crystal clear about that. Don't just say, like, oh, I want to help entrepreneurs. Okay, yeah, but like, what kind of entrepreneurs? What is their age? How do they consume content? Do they like video? Do they like reading? What is it that they struggle with? Why would they come to your page for help? Is it entertainment? Are you going to educate them on how to do something? Like, people will literally make a decision within less than 3 seconds of landing on your page if they want to stick around. If you don't make it crystal clear for them why they're on your page, what value your page provides, and what your page is about, they're gone and you're not getting them back. And so that would be the best piece of advice that I can tell anybody that's trying to grow their following authentically. Figure out exactly who the heck you're trying to speak to and who you're trying to attract and create content for that person.
So, can you give us an example? And you can use yourself as an example, like in your space, industry, like
Mhm.
that you're in. Give us an example of something that's too vague and then tell us what you do.
Sure. Okay. So let me see. I'm not going to use any names because that's just cruel, but there are, I just had a conversation with someone that just joined my one on one mentorship. So she has a nail polish business. Her nail polish business is all about vegan, cruelty free, paraben free nails or nail polish. Now, if you land on her page, what you see, first of all, the name, you don't even know that it's nail polishes. You're just like, okay, Tropic Salon. That sounds kind of like like a Thai Asian massage place. And then literally, that's the first thing I thought. And then if you go to her bio, it's like health, wellness, beauty, hair, mindset. It's like, girl, you are all over the place. Like mindset and like you need to figure out these are so many different niches that don't make sense together. Mindset has nothing to do with nail polish or beauty, and skincare has nothing to do necessarily with like, again, mindset. So we really have to like focus down and figure out, do you want, this is your nail polish page, right? Cool. let's focus on beauty. Let's focus on, nails, aesthetics, stuff like that. Forget the mindset, forget the health, forget the freaking apple cider vinegar tips that you want to give people. Like that has nothing to do with your page. And so that's just in the bio. And then if you go down to the content, you'll see like she doesn't use a lot of images that will tell people when they land on her page it's about nails. There's pictures of her hair. There's pictures of her dog. There's pictures of a healthy salad she ate. There are all these like images with like informative pictures, like where you write on the picture itself. It's just so messy. And I told her, I was like, you know what? If you're a nail page, think about big brands like OPI, Sally Hansen. When you land on their page, you don't even know this company. You know what the page is about. It's about nails. That's what we want to do for your page. And so really revamping that content to make sure that it screams, this is a nail page, this is my brand. And so that would be like a good example of a page that is all over the place where she has a brand, but she doesn't know how to monetize it. People land on the page and they're so confused because they're like, what the heck am I even looking at? Yeah.
I mean, when you land on workout unicorn, it's workout_unicorn. When you land on, and first off, another tip, you guys, study someone's page. Now you have to know that they have like real followers, true. But so someone's page where one way to tell is like, listen, if you have 263,000 followers, like workout unicorn, right? Then it would be weird if she had 3 comments per post.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? That's like a tell. Now, you could say, okay, I go to Workout Unicorn and she, you would think she would have hundreds and hundreds of comments. No, because the more followers you get, it's weird what happens. But you do, the more followers you get, you generally have less comments. Is that true?
I would definitely agree. Yeah. You'll notice even like bigger pages with like 1 million and so on, the comments start decreasing. And I think it's mainly because the larger you get, people are just kind of attracted to you like honey, where they'll just follow because everybody else is following. They're like, it's FOMO. Like, I don't want to miss out on what this person is sharing. A lot of times they may not even be your ideal audience. And it's like, that's fine. Like, you don't have to worry about that. But you can tell, like Tiffany said, a great way to indicate or to tell when a page is authentic and who is actually engaged is in the comment section.
And so follow, obviously you should anyway, follow Workout Unicorn and study what she does. You might not be in her industry, right? But when you land on your page, I mean, it is obvious. Even I just do like a 3-second test, like 1,000, 2, 1,000. Like I kind of count that in my head and I look and even if I didn't read anything, because people are lazy, so they don't necessarily even read your bio. They read that usually the bold, underneath your profile photo, but I do a quick scroll. It's very obvious. This is fitness. This is like curvilicious. This is juicy, like juicy booty, but in like a positive way. Yeah. So it's very, that's very obvious. So, and she has, I help entrepreneurs and influencers launch a successful biz without ads. That's specific AF. That's what you mean.
That's literally, and you guys feel free to also reach out if you have any questions. Like literally, you just want to be super clear, super specific. And I know a lot of times something that I notice is people are afraid if they niche down too far, if they get too specific, they're going to be losing people, like they're thinking like if I cast a wide net, I'm going to attract more people to my page. That's really not the case. You want to get more specific because you want people to know exactly how you can help them and how your products can help them. Or if you decide to, do paid collaborations later on and promote things, what products fit with your page. The worst thing that you can do is turn your page into like a promotional feed for anybody that's willing to pay you money, because that is just like, oh God, that's devastating. Nope, you lose trust with your audience.
So let's talk hashtags. Okay. I'm obsessed with hashtags and studying hashtags and experimenting with hashtags because you guys, neither of us here on the show right now, we don't have, access to Instagram's algorithm. If we did, you would be paying us like hundreds of millions of dollars. We don't have access to it. So you still have to experiment and see what works. So Give us your take on hashtags. Do you use all the hashtags? How do you know which hashtags? All of it.
Okay, first of all, I love that you use the word experiment because that is so flippin' important. A lot of times people think they're just like, okay, I'm just gonna go and put a bunch of hashtags, and if they work, they work, and if they don't, well, then I'll just try them again. It's like, no, you have to experiment with the hashtags that you use. Now, in the past, you could have gotten away with having like 1 to 2 sets of hashtags. Now you have to like be constantly updating your hashtags. And when I say constant, I mean like every single post. Now I'm going to break down how I do it. It's really, really simple. So you don't have to like invest hours every day doing hashtag research. But when you get started, after you know exactly what your page is all about and who you're trying to attract, you're going to go and you're going to start researching hashtags. And the way to do this is super simple. You want to aim for 10 small hashtags, 10 medium, 5 large, and 5 post specific. And I'll explain all that in a minute. 10 small, you want to look for a hashtag that's between 100K to 200K. That's like your good area. Medium is anything between 200K to 500K, and large is 500K and above. Okay. And this is the size that you want to go for. Now, with the 5 post specific hashtags, don't even worry about the size. They can be small, they can be large. Just make sure they're not under 100K. So
not under 100K or
not
over
under
100.
100K.
Okay.
No.
So nothing less than 100K per hashtag.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Because what I found, I mean, you could get away with some like around the 50K, but a lot of times anything under 100K is not very active, and your post is not going to get the visibility that you want it to get. And so what you want to do is you're going to start thinking. So let's say I start with large hashtags because they're the easiest for me. If I'm uploading a picture of, me in yoga pants, pink yoga pants in a park, let's say I'm Women's Best, one of my sponsors needs me to promote this. So I'm going to go to the large. The first thing I'm going to do is search for hashtag fitness. I'm going to look at that hashtag and I'm going to scroll through it real quick to see what kind of content is shared on that hashtag. Is it full of spam? Is it a hashtag that's even banned? And a way to tell if a hashtag is banned is it'll only show you the top 9 posts. Anything underneath that, they'll say the posts on this tag violate Instagram's guidelines. If you see that, don't use that hashtag.
Wow, great tip.
Yeah. And so just scroll through and see what kind of content is on that hashtag. If the content on the hashtag resembles the kind of content that you share, that's a good hashtag to use. If it doesn't, let's say you're searching for hashtag fitness, you're going to post a picture of you in leggings, but the majority of the content on that hashtag is actually food, that's a bad hashtag to use because your content is not matching up with what's already shared on that hashtag. So the people searching that hashtag are less likely to engage with your post. Okay. So that's what I would do for the first 5 big ones. And then after you search for the 5 big hashtags, Instagram will give you suggestions. And usually those suggestions kind of go down in size in terms of the hashtag. So click on the suggestions and scroll through them to get your medium-sized hashtags and your small hashtags. And that's basically how I compose my list of hashtags for a specific post. Now, obviously, your page has consistent themes, right? Like it's not one day you're talking about, dragons, and then the next day you're going to be talking about oranges. Like your page is going to have a very consistent theme. And so you can basically predict. So that one day you'll upload a picture of yoga apparel, the next day it'll be food, the next day it'll be a workout, and so on and so forth. You can predict what you're going to post and create hashtag sets that are specific for those posts that you can reuse constantly. Now, the last thing to create a little bit of variability are the 5 post specific hashtags. So let's say, for an example for what I gave, if I'm wearing pink yoga pants and I'm in a park, I would use hashtag pink yoga pants, hashtag park, hashtag, green trees, stuff like that, just to create a little bit of visibility and hashtags that you don't always use.
Interesting. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm looking at, I'm looking through her page again, right? You want to study someone who is absolutely doing what you want. They don't have to be in the exact same industry, but they're doing it. They're doing it with integrity. They're having great success. Those are the people you want to hire. If you want a business coach, you want to hire someone, who is a specialist in that online space and who is making the kind of money you want. You want to hire, her to show you how to do this and have the social media growth. You want to hire someone who's actually doing it. I noticed that you don't use all 30 hashtags per post. Is there a reason why?
So honestly, one thing that I've noticed, and this is just recently, I recommend using all 30 in case, especially when you're starting off, just to be on the safe side. One thing I've noticed lately, and this kind of tipped me off that Instagram might not be a fan of using all 30, is when you post the hashtags in your caption and you use all 30, Instagram is going to not allow you to promote that post. Now, I'm not saying you guys should promote posts. Don't ever promote a post unless like a company does it for you, but I'm not going to get on my little soapbox. But the fact that they're not letting you promote the post and they're actually taking money away from their pocket and basically not allowing you to do that is telling me that they're probably not a fan of you using so many hashtags. And so try playing around with the number of hashtags that you use. You never want to go under 11. You can use up to 30. I never go under 11 hashtags, but try testing out, like, see what your sweet spot is. Is it 11? Is it 20? Is it 30? Is it 25? Like, what works best for your account? And each account is different. Each niche is different. And so you want to make sure, like Tiffany said, experiment. That is the name of the game when it comes to this, because none of us know the secret sauce for, the algorithm. We don't have access to Instagram's backend. So you have to experiment to figure out what really works for you.
So what do you think or feel, or how do you feel about, there are a lot of these, so to speak, hashtag generator free apps and stuff that people can use. Do you advise people to use those? Because that sounds certainly a lot easier than having to go through and create your own lists and hand curating them.
Yeah, they're definitely great. And again, especially when you're starting off, if you're just trying to, get visibility, absolutely use them, play around with them. Just make sure that you look at those hashtags. So if like one of your posts performs particularly bad, go and check the hashtags to make sure none of them are banned. None of them have obscene content on it. None of them are, hashtags that have like pornography on them or anything like that, because that's definitely not going to be helpful for your account.
What about hashtags in Instagram stories?
Yes.
This is like my golden situation. It's like people don't like it in life when you tell them that what works requires more work and it's tedious as fuck. But I use all the hashtags for every 15 seconds of my Instagram stories. Am I being a spaz?
You're not being a spaz. You're doing exactly what you need to be fucking doing. Guys, Insta stories, they're giving you the option to get more visibility. They're telling you, here, just use hashtags and you can get more visibility on this app. Why the heck would you not take advantage of that? It is absurd to me. Like, if you can use a hashtag and location tag in every single story, freaking do it. It doesn't have to be visible. You can hide it behind like GIFs. You can hide it in the corner. But you need to use it to get more visibility. Like, it's absurd to me when people are like, no, I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm just going to upload a story. I'm like, okay, well, fine. Just waste your time then.
Right, but you have to help people find you, and you can also batch those. Like I have in my notes app in my phone, I have batches and batches of 11 hashtag, batches, depending on what I'm talking about, because I was told, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I was told, like, let's say I will post, because in stories you can share some stuff that's not exactly like in my sense, right? Like teaching people all things money and passive income, right? I'll still show personal stuff. Like I'll share my dog and you know what I mean? And stuff like that.
As you should.
Right. But I will, if I used hashtags like hashtag passive income, hashtag online entrepreneur, and here I'm showing like, Molly snoring, you can get banned because your content isn't matching the hashtags, right? So then you have to change your hashtags based upon what you're talking about. Otherwise, you keep doing that and you're basically misusing hashtags. Is that true?
That is 100% true. Instagram is so big on like the audience reporting content. That's why you can report an account if it's spam or if someone, is impersonating someone. You can also do that if you guys go through hashtags and you see content that doesn't match up with what the hashtag is. So like if you use like hashtag fitness, but you see, something like pornography or something like that, there are three little dots at the top right corner. You can click and you can report that. And Instagram is super, super big on that. And every time someone reports your post, you are basically showing up on Instagram's radar and you want to fly so low below that radar. Like you don't want to get reported in any case. So yeah, absolutely. You are 100% right, Tiffany.
So tell us how you went from doing, Instagram with, we know like your first intentions weren't to have a business, but then you switched your intention to, you're like, okay, I'm going to make a business out of this. How did you go from making $0 to getting these great paid partnerships that you have now?
So my business, actually, my revenue stream splits up into several different streams. One of them is the business, the clients that I have, the one-on-one mentorship. The other one is through my Instagram Guru course, which is just another passive income stream. And then the other one is through sponsorships and paid collaboration. So it really splits up into those three. Now, the way I actually transitioned from just starting an inspirational page for losing weight to actually turning it into a business where I'm helping people grow their pages and their business is I started doing this for other companies. So when I was in college, as I graduated, I got hired as like a consultant or basically like a social media manager for a company. And they would make me manage social media pages for different brands. And I very quickly, so I kind of use those pages as like my testing ground. I very quickly figured out what to do and what not to do, and I became exceptionally good at it. And so that was great because I was able to get promoted, within the company very, very quickly because my numbers were great. I also very quickly realized that I hate working for somebody else, and I basically know how to freaking do this for myself. I'm helping people. The clients are speaking to me directly. People on Instagram are reaching out to me and asking for advice. I'm like, why the heck am I still doing this for somebody else? Why don't I do this for myself? And that's basically how the business started. And so that's how the monetization in terms of like the business aspect came to be. When it comes to monetizing your page for paid collaborations and sponsorships, it was a lot harder in the day for me to get paid collaborations. Nowadays, it's much easier because micro influencing is a thing. So in the past, companies were really focused on just numbers. They're like, if you have 1 million followers, we don't care what your likes are. We don't care who they're coming from. We don't care where your audience is based at. Like, you got a lot of following, we'll pay you a lot of money. Nowadays, it's shifted to micro influencing. So even if you don't have a lot of followers, but they're very targeted, they're very engaged, and you know exactly where they're coming from, like their majority are in the US or in Australia or in Europe, whatever, that is priceless to companies because they can target their audience and promote, your post or work with you in a much more specific manner. And so that is honestly something that's come to be lately. And I think it's like actually a very beneficial thing, the whole micro influencing aspect.
Now, did these sponsors come to you and you just sat back and grew the shit out of your audience and they came to you? Or did you have to go and pitch yourself to them?
So I actually pitched myself to them, but you touched on this before. You said, this is a brand that I loved with the planners. I loved her product. I was a fan. I featured her on my show. I showed her love on my social media, and then she became my sponsor. And that is really the best way to go about it because a lot of times you'll see, I call them kind of like hired mercenaries. Where you'll see a person, an influencer, bounce from one brand to another. So one day they're sponsored with this clothing company, 2 weeks later they're with this clothing company, 3 weeks later they're with this, and it basically you really lose your loyalty with your audience. And so every time you promote that and you're like, hey, these are the best leggings I've ever tried, they're like, well, yeah, you freaking said that about the other brand 2 weeks ago. So like, why the fuck would I support you?
Right.
And so you really have to, first of all, figure out which brands you want to work with. Can you see yourself with this company for years and years and years? Like my sponsors, I've been with them for 3 years.
Wow.
I've never switched sponsors and I love them. I'm loyal to them because I was a consumer before I was sponsored with them.
So when you go from being a lover, right, of a product how did you then get their attention
Mhm.
for, something paid?
Perfect question. So, what you do, you want to make sure to shower them with love. First of all, if you love the product, upload content to your page with it. Make sure that it's actually high quality content. Like, if you're trying to get sponsored by a clothing brand, don't take like dark bathroom selfies in like, with like terrible background. Like, you want the brand to see your photo and be like, wow, she can really showcase our product effectively. This is a picture that we would actually be honored and probably would share on our page. So that's the first thing. Show the brand love on your page. Feature their product on your page, on your stories, talk about it if you can. The next step would be to actually go to their social media page and make yourself known. Comment on their posts, comment on their IG stories, comment on their IGTV, shoot them a DM, all of those things. And this isn't just like a one day thing. Like, you have to be doing this for several weeks at least, if not several months. Because think about it, the brand is going to be investing in you, whether it's paid or free product or whatever. You are going to be now associated with this brand. They want to make sure that you're a good fit so that you don't hop on and hop off the train, kind of like what I was talking about before. And so once you've done all of that and you've really built that relationship with them, then you can reach out to them and be like, "Hey, I really love your product," and they know that you do because you've been showing them so much love on your social. And I would love to be, sponsored with you. I would love to work with you. Like, I'm genuinely obsessed with your product.
And what happens when you do that? And you said this is after like several months. It's not like a week, right? Basically, you're courting someone like a proper gentleman, should court, right? Like, it's not you're not gonna do what I used to do and just like jump into bed with somebody. Hopefully you're gonna like let them take you to dinner and send you flowers and nice text messages. So you're courting them for several months, and then you're doing the ask because you've earned the right, and there's proof because they're like, wait a second, workout unicorn, that name sounds familiar, right? Because usually the person answering the DMs is also like the social media account manager or whatever. Now, what happens if they don't write you back, or they write, it's a benign comment back? Do you keep going with it, or do you move on to the next product you love?
Honestly, it could go either way. If you're like super gung ho, and it also depends on how they respond. If they're kind of like, "Hey, we love your post. Thanks so much. We're just not looking for influencers right now." That's fine. You can still keep supporting the brand. If they don't even bother responding to you, that's just terrible customer service, in my opinion. I'd be like, I don't really want to be affiliated with a brand like that anyway.
Great point. And I'm asking because I have an example for you guys, and I'll say the name of the brand because I have no shame in my game. I'm upset with Barefoot Dreams. I don't know if you've heard of the brand. They make like the world's softest like blankets. I have a blankie. Like I joke about how I have an adult blankie, like a robe I wear all the time, like that I'm wearing right now in this interview that I don't want to wash because I don't want to be without it, is Barefoot Dreams. So it's legit, right? As legit as you are with your leggings. Like you actually wear that shit and are obsessed. And so I did reach out, right? And I got met with, we'll give you an affiliate. We're happy to give you an affiliate link. It's like, I don't want a fucking affiliate link.
Fuck affiliates, man. I hate affiliates.
So what am I going to do with that? I mean, it's not like, I'm Drew Barrymore, or you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a celebrity or you're a sports personality and you drop, you have an affiliate link for something, you can make some serious cash. If you're Oprah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you can make serious cash. But if with my audience size, if I drop an affiliate link and, 25 people buy, that's not even worth me putting the content together in a post.
It's really not. And it's also not worth you utilizing your audience for that purpose. Like, you want to utilize your audience when you know that, first of all, this product's going to help them or be really beneficial for them. And secondly, when you know that they're going to support you, like in the masses. 25 people is not masses. And that's why I hate affiliates, because it's literally, the company has nothing to lose. Best case scenario, you sell something and they give you like 5 or 10%. Worst case, you don't sell anything. They don't lose anything. They didn't even give you a free product. And that's why I always tell people, like, I hate affiliates. I would not recommend them. But like with your example, like what you said, that company, I mean, at least they responded. So that's good. If you're like, okay, I'm obsessed with them, like it's my life dream to get sponsored by them, then I would stick with it. But in your case, like you can tell the company clearly doesn't realize your value to their brand, or maybe they just don't think that like your page correlates with what they would share. Whatever the reason, move along. Like they're clearly not interested, and forget affiliates. Like I'm telling y'all right now, anybody listening to this, please don't sign up for an affiliate program.
Yeah,
Please.
unless you have, I mean, you would have to have, it'd have to be a, so to speak, no pun intended, unicorn situation, because you're just not going to make, you're not going to make much. So you don't have to go into the details how you structure your deals, but would you say, how are most really good paid partnerships structured? Is it a monthly flat rate they're giving you?
So it depends. It depends between collaboration and sponsorship. Sponsorship, heck yes. Monthly flat rate. They also usually give you free product, whatever it is, and they pay you a monthly salary. This is like, in addition, some brands will give you commission. So like, let's say you make X amount of dollars every month through the salary, and then you get 10% of whatever sales they make through your link or through your code. And you get free product. But that is how you structure a sponsorship. Sponsorship is not, I will make what I sell. That's not a sponsorship. You're an affiliate. Let's be legit here. And if a brand wants a sponsorship or sponsor you, they pay you and you can make commission. Now, the difference between that and a paid collaboration, sponsorships are obviously harder to get because it's a long-term commitment with the brand and they're going to be investing more money in you. What you could do, paid collaborations, those are like one-off where they pay you an X amount of dollars for a post or a story or both on your page. Now with those, I really love them because a lot of times, you might want to like promote a product that you genuinely love, but maybe the brand's not going anywhere. Maybe you don't really want a long-term commitment with them, and that's totally fine. You can still show them love and share their product on your page for a paid collaboration. And the way to structure that is straight up, like, this is how much I charge, this is my fee, and this is what you can expect. Again, we'll pay you based on how many sales you make.
Yeah. So with a paid collaboration, I have a friend who, Carly Hartman, she actually follows you. And so do 260 something other thousand people.
No, but Carly, oh my God, Carly, yes, girl, she freaking, oh my God, I love Carly. She actually texted me. We're text buddies now.
Cool.
Yes.
Because she has fewer followers than me, and she has tons of paid collaboration. So, one day she'll do a post and it's her favorite cereal, which is it's Lucky Charms, because she does such a good job of sharing. I actually remembered that, so, and then she has her favorite cookie another day. So it's like Oreo cookies, you know what I mean? So she does that where it's like paid per post, where it's not like, you're seeing like 3 posts a week with her and Oreos, because that would get probably pretty old, right?
And weird.
and weird. It's like, okay. So you could also offer that to a brand, if they're like, oh, we don't do any sponsorships, right? You could have a secondary sell, because this is selling yourself, right? You could have a secondary sell and say, but I also offer paid collaborations, also known as, paid per post, right?
Yes. 100%. Yeah. And brands are more likely to agree to that because it's less money, obviously, and they're kind of testing you out. And a lot of times if they see that the post did really well, they're going to want to keep working with you. And again, this is where the don't buy fake shit comes in, because the brand's going to know, the brand will want to see your insights. They'll look at the comments. They'll look at the likes. They want to see what the heck you can bring to the table. And again, if you're fake, like, this is not going to work out well for you, I promise.
Right, because I get the temptation on many levels, but like I could see you guys like implementing, all this amazing stuff you're learning today, and you're thinking of a brand and you're like, oh, I like this coffee company, and I like always show myself drinking coffee, right? Don't pick something you use that's off brand, even though you genuinely like use it. Like for me, there's a certain eyeliner I love. I don't have a beauty brand. I don't even have a lifestyle brand, so to speak. That would be weird for me to reach out to like a makeup company for something for me where I'm at right now. So make sure it's on point. But it's but it's like I could see the temptation where, let's say it's that coffee company example, or even you, like back when you first, got your first sponsorship and you really want to do good by that company. I could see it being tempting. Like, God, I want to show them, like my first few posts got so much engagement. Maybe I should buy some likes and some comments so that, they're extra happy with me. And then what?
But don't do it. But don't do it, because they can see right through that. Like, the worst thing is, like, imagine you invested money and you actually bought these likes and comments, and then the brand calls you out. Now you lost the brand and you lost money for paying for this shit, and you're basically blacklisted. So if they worked with you to begin with, you don't need to do better. Like, just post. They know why they're working with you. Like, you already got it. You don't have to over deliver.
Right. And they also aren't stupid. They know what your, average engagement is. They know that 90% of your following is not going to buy their yoga pants.
And they're fine with it. They're fine with it because a lot of times they're going to, like, again, like you said, they know. They do know. Yeah, I agree.
So for people who are listening, which is, most people, right? They have 500 followers. They have 1,700 followers. Are they a little too early in the game to go after a sponsorship or a paid collaboration?
I would say they're too early to go after a sponsorship. Yes. Paid collaborations, it really depends on how engaged and active your audience is. Even with 500, yeah, you're still a little too early. 1,700, maybe not. It really depends on the brand that you're working with. But honestly, guys, you want to think about it like this. A lot of times people will be too eager to monetize too soon. And you don't want to do that, because what you're doing is you're messing with your audience's loyalty. Nobody wants to stick around on your page to look at promotions. Okay. They want to stick around on your page because you provide them some sort of value. Now, very rarely will your promotions be that value that they're looking for. They will tolerate it. They will tolerate these promotions as long as you keep providing them value. But if you start monetizing on your relationship with them too soon, before they're like, okay, I'm a loyal follower for life, like my ride or die account, then you're just going to lose them. And it's really a lose-lose situation. And I know it's tempting to be like, okay, well, I'm investing so much time and effort in this. I really want to start making money. Don't jump the gun. Make sure you have a loyal audience. Make sure your engagement and your growth is consistent. You can see specific, exactly approximately how much you're going to grow each week, what you can expect in terms of engagement. Then once you have that stability, you can think about monetizing. But until you have that stability, until you know exactly what your page is about and where you're trying to take it, don't focus on monetization. Focus on building that relationship.
I love that. I love how you're so real. That's why I fucking love you. And I had you on, and because the thing is, you guys, I've met with so many people who say they're like Instagram experts, social media experts. One of my favorite Instagram experts, by the way, is on my team. I hired her right after the interview because she's on one of my earlier episodes. Like, it's like one of the first 15 episodes because she's no bullshit. She didn't tell me what I wanted to hear. And you guys, she said the same thing that you just said. I didn't ask for anything. I didn't ask anyone to buy anything or use anything for a full 6 months.
Yes.
That's a long time to write content and take pictures and do all the shit.
But once you do actually hit them with an offer and you're like, hey, I need you guys to support me and buy from me. They're like, heck yeah, you've been giving me so much over 6 months. You haven't asked for anything. Sure, buddy, I'll support you. And it's like, that's what you want. You want that loyalty with your audience. And like, monetizing too soon, it's a disaster. It's just a disaster. I can see the temptation, but I really don't recommend it.
So for people who have been in this, they're past 6 months, they're past a year, and they're still seeing slow growth, and they're like, hey, you guys, like I've not done all these things, but I feel I've done a lot of them really good, and I need extra help. Like, how can they get extra help from you?
So first of all, guys, shoot me a DM. shoot me a DM, reach out to me, workout_unicorn, or visit my website, www.workoutunicorn.com. There's a ton of free resources on my website. And obviously, like if you have any questions, reach out to me. The next thing you can do, if you're like, okay, I think I really have an issue where I need like more help, more bigger picture, like more specific techniques that I can implement, check out my Instagram Guru course. You can find it on my website. It is literally a gold mine when it comes to Instagram strategies and growth. People have seen incredible growth, and you can check out the testimonials. These are all legit people that took the course, and these are the results they saw after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, etc. And of course, anything beyond that, just shoot me an email. I am here to help you guys.
You guys, I vouch for this woman. She is
God,
Tiffany approved. I mean, and you guys know how many times have I ever said that? Like maybe 5 so far.
Literally cannot even. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm just like smiling. I don't know if you can hear how wide my smile is right now. It's crazy.
I vouch for this woman. And the reason is, number one, I've met her in real life. So you can always tell. Sometimes, you get fooled, right? Like someone's one way on Instagram or whatever, and they're a different way in person. She's the same exact person. She's just as real. And if she just shared all this value here now, imagine what she's sharing when you pay her some cash. That's how you've got to look at it. If you guys got a lot out of this episode and you're like, holy shit, we want more of this, take a screenshot right now and share it on Instagram, share it on Facebook, and tag both of us. Tag at ProjectME with Tiffany and tag workout_unicorn. If for some reason you forget her handle, tag me and I'll make sure that she gets tagged. This way we can share the episode, share it with other people. Let us know, like, you guys, like, this was really helpful and we appreciate it. And that's what helps the show keep going. And it also helps other people not feel so shitty about their slow growth on Instagram. Like, you guys, it's not like you guys are less than these other people. I just want to make sure you know that it is a slow grow process. And here you're hearing it, not just from me, right? You're hearing it from someone who's an expert who's over 260,000 followers telling you.
Yes, I definitely agree with everything you just said. Like, so, it is a slow growth. It's a process.
Do you have any final words for people?
Honestly, you literally just summarized it. Don't feel bad about yourself. And please, guys, for the love of all things, don't tie your self-worth into that stupid number above your username or underneath your username, whatever it is. Like, you are worth so much more. And just because someone else was blowing up overnight doesn't make them better than you or worth more than you or anything like that. Like, you just said it. I'll just stop.
I love you. All right, you guys, take that screenshot right now, post it. It literally takes you 10 seconds. Plus, it's going to help with your engagement on Instagram. They love when you share other people's shit and tag other people. Remember, it's a social platform. They want you to be social and use every freaking feature they give you because they spend a fortune on development making it. Yes. So improve your algorithm right now by posting that screenshot, tagging at workout_unicorn and at ProjectME with Tiffany. And then I will repost all those for you guys. So then you even get further benefit from the algorithm because now I'll tag you back.
Same.
How about
guys.
that shit? All right, you guys, have a great day. Thanks for listening, and thanks, love, for coming on the show. You're awesome.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Bye, Ann. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.